Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into this great interview. My name is Abdalla Ashraf. I am currently a researcher at the American University in Cairo. I am also undergoing a master's degree in sustainable development with a specialization in entrepreneurship and in the process of launching Oikos Cairo. I am absolutely excited to interview Fanny today. Fanny, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Can you give us a simple introduction about yourself?
Sure, my name is Fanny Bancourt, so I'm a sustainability consultant in France, and I've been working as a sustainability consultant for 1 year now.
Great, that's amazing. So I know you have this great story about working in an unsustainable business. Can you let us know more about that?
Sure. So, as a sustainability consultant, it is often the case that you have requirements and you are offered to work with companies that you are not so sure about and that you don't share so many values with. For example, if a big distribution company comes, maybe you don't want to work with them, or if Coca-Cola comes, or McDonald's, or I don't know, any other company, maybe it's hard for you to work with them. So I had the case a few months ago that a really big company came and said, want to work with your consultancy. What can you offer us? And it is a big company that is building and maintaining and operating shopping centers. And they wanted to work on their biodiversity strategy. And so when you're facing that kind of situation, it was quite hard for me to say, do I really want to work for them and to maybe validate what they are doing and participate in some potential greenwashing and consolidate their action? And so it was really difficult to say, do I really want to go there and to work there? And I remember that we had this kind of discussion about other clients, and it was always quite hard to decide if we wanted to work with them. But at the end of the day, most consultants will go there and will say, yeah, if we can go and if we can help, if we don't go, someone else will go there. So if you go and you try to do your best and provide the best consultancy you can and try to help the company to be as ambitious as it can, it's a great. So in most cases, we do go with them, and that's the choice we decided to do with this company, is to work with them and to manage to get a really ambitious strategy out of that. But it's not without many challenges, meaning that if you want to build a biodiversity strategy, you have to face all of the impacts of this society on biodiversity. And we know that building and construction have a really high impact on biodiversity. So we have to go there and say, look, you have a lot of challenges, and maybe now it's time to be ambitious and work on them. And it's really, really challenging, but you have to give your best and give all the arguments you can take and convince them that they have to work on biodiversity now and they have to be really ambitious. So that's what we are trying to do right now, is making them as ambitious as we can and having them work on this topic and change the way shopping centers are built and having it greener. But it's really challenging because it's not in their first mind. The employees and also the managers, they don't know what biodiversity is. They have a bit of knowledge on the carbon footprint and on some sustainability topics, but biodiversity they don't know, and we really have to convince them why it's important to go there. So, and what I think is that it's always good to go in a company and help a company grow, because if you don't go there when you have the knowledge, someone else will go there and maybe they cannot take it as far as you can do.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. How is your approach to changing some sort of the corporate culture and also a part of their identity with you introducing biodiversity conservation and preservation?
Yeah. So a first thing is when we start to work like that, we will go and talk with all the employees within the companies to know a bit what are the impact, what are their day-to-day activities, and how are they working right now, as far as to understand all of the impacts and and how it is managed at the time. And so when we go there and we talk with the employees, the first step is to make sure we do not only get the information for us, but we also transmit and raise awareness for them. So we take the time to explain what biodiversity is, why is it an important issue to tackle, and to give some hints on what they can do, even if it isn't in the final strategy at the end. So the goal is really to raise awareness for every individual within the company to make them understand what are the stakes, what they can do and what they should do. And then even when we lead the company, some people have the information and then they can go forward with that.
Great. Thank you so much for that. I also like to add a question is, why do you think companies resist that in the beginning?
Yeah, I think it's due to fear of change and fear of changing the way of doing business. Today, we are in a society where business is done a certain way, and we know that this way will bring money. And so we fear a lot in changing the business that we will not get the response we can hope for. And a big group that is leading a market will have so many fears to change the ways doing business because it works and it brings profits, and that's how they are labeled as the working company, as a really great company, as a successful company. So when we offer to change the way they do things, they always fear that maybe they will lose market shares, maybe it will impact the business, and also it's a big investment. So it's really hard at the beginning to say, yeah, maybe there are new risks that we don't know. And if we don't change right now, it will be too late later, and we will face the consequences and we will face the risks. And also to tackle that, you have to grow progressively. And that's why we need to work with unsustainable business, because some really sustainable business, they can be there, but they may not be a good competition with other businesses. So we also have to change the businesses that are leading there, that have having the biggest market share, and changing them progressively.
So you were in this ethical dilemma of should I work with this business that I absolutely don't believe in their values, and between also that I need to change from within. How do you make those kind of really tough decisions? What is your approach to that?
Yeah. It's kind of something you have to think of when you go in this way of trying to change the business from within. And it's to say, where is the limit? Which kind of company I do not want to work for. And for me, but it's really personal for me, a business that I will not work for is a business that I really don't believe that they could change in a sustainable way. I'll give you an example. I really don't believe that Coca-Cola can ever be a sustainable company, because the core of the business for them is to produce an healthy drink in a non-sustainable packaging, and to deliver that everywhere. And it's something we don't need. For me, doesn't really satisfy a need. And so I really don't believe that they can change. I think a lot of people could argue with that, but it's the way I see it. But I think that shopping centers and a lot of maybe big distributors around the world, they could change and satisfy the same need in a sustainable way. So maybe shopping centers in the future, they could change to be, instead of being a consumption paradise, beginning to be more of a place where you meet people, you maybe you start new experiences, and maybe you buy also some stuff, but maybe also you repair some stuff. And basically shopping centers are just a place for you to go and to be within the society and to meet businesses. So it doesn't have to be something so unsustainable as it is right now. And so if we want to make them change, we need quite ambitious people showing the way of how we could go there. So for me, when I think should I work with this business or not, I think can I see future place where this business is sustainable? And if not, then I don't think it's worth to work with them, and they should probably disappear in a sustainable future. But if yes, we need someone to help them go that way. And so this someone can be me or can be anyone.
Yes, thank you so much for that example. If you would want just the audience to get one key message out of your story, what would it be?
It would be that you will have to make a choice sometime to fully live your conviction or to make some sacrifices to help the society as a whole move forward. And both options are really great. In one way, you can try to experiment living as sustainably as you can and lead as an example. And in the other way, you can try to help other, and so be the person that push the whole society forward. So both positions are really good, but sometimes you will maybe have a choice to make. And I think you should not wait to make this choice, and you should really decide on what you want to be an example or be maybe a helper.
Thank you so much for that. You talked a lot about one of our main two competencies in responsible leaderships, ethics and values, and also the idea of change and innovation. What kind of advice and suggestion would you give someone to build on those competencies?
I would say that the most important is to know what your values are and where you start from, and then from that to try to learn and listen and try to understand the position of other person, other businesses, and to build those competencies. I think that dialogue and listening to people is the most efficient way to do that, and also to listen to people that doesn't share your values. That will help you grow and understand how other people work and how you can change them or what they do if you don't feel it suits your values.
Thank you so much. This has been extremely informative and enlightening in different ways. Thank you so much for making the time of being here. And by that, we end our interview.
Thank you.